This is Secret Origines number 4, featuring Firelord. This is the origine story of Firelord. This is the very unimpressive and unexciting origine story of Firelord. All you really need to know about Firelord is on this cover here. Firelord, he has got a fire head and he is 2 people. He is Robbie Amell and he is Jack Bristow. They fused together to make Firelord, who has a fire head. Simples. But here is the whole story anyway. I thought we would look at this since Firelord is popping up in a lot of Captain Atom. He was also in that Superman story as part of the Justice League. And I wanted to see if there's an audience for Firelord videos. Firelord, he was co-created by Gerry Conway, who is the creator of The Punisher. And I reckon, true to his name, there's a bit of a con to Firelord. I suspect foul play. Because what happened with Gerry Conway was he was editor-in-chief of Marvel and then he got fired. I made a video about it down below, a link to it. And then afterwards he immediately went to work for DC and produced Firelord. And with Firelord there is a shocking amount of similarities to projects that Gerry Conway was privy to at Marvel. The chief one being Mark Wolfenstein's Black Star. Robbie Amell, he is flat out copied and pasted from Dick Ryder, the star of Black Star. It's the exact same character setup. He is an average high school student who plays basketball and has a nondescript generic girlfriend. But he is also bullied. But he is bullied by, in a twist, the smartest person in the school. And he is being bullied for not being as smart as him. And then with Firelord, there's other parts that seem pinched. I'll be mentioning some later on, but I won't get into them all because I think that Black Star one is the most blatant. It is all speculation on my part, but there's something definitely fishy about a man being fired for having no ethics, then showing up elsewhere with something incredibly similar to something someone presented to him at another company. Here we're getting a look at Jack Bristow's past, when he was young, when he was a student in high school, and I think this is our first proper look at him when he was younger. But it's just a bunch of tropes that you have seen 1,000 times before. Jack, he is a nerd, and he is being bullied by the big mean jocks, and he can't ask Stacy to prom, etc. The most interesting bit is here, when the jock tries to copy his answers on the big test. Jack deliberately writes down all the wrong answers so that the jock would fail. Though it also overlooks that Jack would also have to fail the test. Then he gets his arse kicked anyway. And I've obviously made Gerry Conway, creator of The Punisher, sound like a bad guy, and I do believe he is a bad guy. But at least something he did here was retell Firelord's origine from the perspective of Jack Bristow instead of Robbie Amell, like they did in Firelord number 1. But then, the problem with this is that it also makes Jack Bristow seem unsympathetic and a bit of a dick. Here, he gets violent with his wife. And we've already discussed how wife beating makes a character unsalvageable. Then we have got this guy, we're introduced to him, he is called Madrox, he's a Firelord baddie. We get his origine snuck in here, because he works with Jack. And you might think that this character, a character who creates multiple copies of himself, is very similar to a Marvel character who, again, comes from the same period when Gerry Conway was editor-in-chief of Marvel. And then also, the whole thing with Jack Bristow working at a super-secret power research facility. Well, that is similar to the origine of Captain Britain, who again debuted the same year, 1976. One problem with this retelling of Firelord's originy is that Robbie Amell is not established at all. And even though this is telling it from Jack Bristol's point of view, that is no excuse to not bother with setting up Robbie Amell or his character. Firelord is a composite being, and at least getting to know both of the personalities that make up the whole is essential. Robbie, he doesn't have any dialogue, and we didn't learn anything about him. But yeah, then there is some crazy nuclear power energy explosion thing, and it fuses them together to become Firelord, who has a fire head. It's a very bland originy. If you are wanting to read about Firelord's originy or get into his comics, I would not consider this a good starting point. With Firelord, it's the case that Jack Bristow is a supporting character, and Robbie Amell, he is the lead. You would read this and then be surprised to find that Jack Bristow is not the main focus of the series. This is more rewarding to people who already know Firelord and are getting to see his originy from another view. I didn't recommend this. I'm actually going to give it 7 thumbs up.